Hey, it's good to see you back today. This is the reading for the 28th of January. Today we're looking at Genesis chapters 27, 28, and 29. We start out with that goat hair and meat scam where Isaac and Esau conspire to privately give this blessing of the firstborn son to Esau, not considering the fact that Esau had bartered that away back some years earlier. Well, they manage actually to get heisted on this thing because Jacob and his mama overhears the conspiracy to give the birthright to Esau. And while Esau's out looking for game, Rebekah makes a big goat meal, and Jacob puts on goat skin so that he feels like Esau. Can you imagine a guy that has skin that feels like goat skin? But anyway, apparently Esau did. And they pull off this big scam, and it turns out that Isaac mistakenly blesses Jacob, but it sticks. Well, at this point, Esau comes in. He is steamed. He's lost the birthright first blessing, so he is really upset. And as a matter of fact, Rebekah feels that Jacob's life may be in danger, so she says, hey, Jacob, you need to go out of town. You need a vacation. Go back up to Haran and come back with a wife. Now, something interesting here. And if you look at my notes, I'll show you that this figure that I'm about to give you is conclusive. At this point in time, Jacob is 77 years old and never been married. In chapter 28, Jacob gets his send-off confirmation from Isaac. Isaac reconfirms the blessing that he'd given to him. Esau realizes that his parents aren't too happy with the daughters of Hath, the Hittite women that he'd married. And so he goes out and finds one of Ishmael's daughters, marries her. And on the way up to Haran, God once again reconfirms the promise. The one that he'd made to Abraham and then to Isaac reconfirms this promise through Jacob. Then in chapter 29, we're back at the well, the same well where the servant found Rebekah, Isaac's wife. And there he meets Rachel. Rachel takes him back home. Laban, her daddy, who is Rebekah's brother, he's thrilled. And he wants to marry. Jacob wants to marry Rachel, but when the time comes after he's worked 7 years for Rachel's hand in marriage, bait and switch takes place in the tent that night. Next day, Jacob wakes up and finds out he's married to the not-so-beautiful Leah. Well, a deal's made with Laban, and what happens is Jacob works 7 more years. 7 more years for the hand of Rachel, but he gets Rachel after the 1 week, and he just stays on 7 more years. Now, what we'll find out later is he stayed on 6 years past that. So he was gone from Isaac and Rebekah's place for 20 years before he returned. And then at the end of chapter 29, childbearing begins. Well, not for everybody. Leah begins having kids, but at this point in time, Rachel, she can't have any kids. And so that's the reading for today. Some really interesting incidents in today's reading, and I hope you enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow.